Normally I trim my facial hair before these. It's like I didn't get a chance to today because I was so busy. So I look kind of like a mountain man. A little bit. Not really. Hi, my name's Bobby.
And I'm Tyler.
And this is The Road to Gen Con. We are a couple of self-proclaimed nerds who have never been to a gaming convention before, as crazy as that sounds. So we decided to take it upon ourselves to document our journey from start to finish.
And we figured there has got to be more people out there like us. So we're enlisting the help of you experienced congoers to show us how it's done.
All right, and we are now on episode, 5?
Yep.
Of Road to Gen Con. We're like about, I don't know, we're a little over halfway through our journey.
Definitely. It's getting closer.
We're closer to Gen Con now than when we started. That's kind of like a tautology, though.
So, Bobby, what did we talk about last month?
Last month, we spoke to our friends Grant and Aaron, who happened to be there also, and they taught us all about how to con and taught us all the special rules about going to a convention and how to do it.
You know, Bobby, I'm actually not sure that Grant and Aaron were prepared for us to, go up there.
I'm not really sure what you're talking about. We had some viewer responses from last month's episode.
Yeah, so the first one was from Jeffrey Cathy, and he gave a really good suggestion of an app called No Wait. And I know it's for iOS, because I have it on my phone. They probably have it for Android, I'm pretty sure. But it's a great app. It helps you can make reservations on it for different restaurants in town. And it's really great. I use it here in Columbia, and it's a great way, just if you know you're going to be somewhere in 20 minutes, just go ahead and you can put your place in line. That way you don't have to wait when you get there.
Because at Gen Con, being in downtown Indianapolis, there's going to be tons of people there. Probably wait times at, meal times, around dinner time and stuff like that. It's probably going to be a little crowded at restaurants, so it might be a quick and easy way to find the less crowded places. So last month we had the question about whether or not the Rio Grande Games Room food was free or not, because we like free food. Jacob McQuaid has assured us that the food at Rio Grande Games is free.
Mm-hmm. So stop by there if you're getting some hunger pains while at Gen Con.
Yeah, and leave some for us, because we'll be stopping by there too. On to the main topic, the main meat of our show this month. We are here to talk about Shadowrun at Gen Con, and we have two very special guests that are going to help us learn about how Shadowrun does their thing at Gen Con.
Right. Yeah, we have Ray, the Teutonic Overlord Rigel, and who's our other guest?
Bob Volbrecht, Bob the Banshee Volbrecht. So why don't we go over there now and check it out. All right, well, with us today, we've got Ray, the Teutonic Overlord Rigel. Do I have that right, Ray?
That is 100% correct.
And Bob Volbrecht. Bob, I have in my head somehow that your bestowed moniker is the Banshee? Or did I make that up?
Banshee's my handle on the forums.
That's what I thought. Now, we have you guys with us today, members, representatives, so to speak, from the Catalyst demo team to answer some questions for us to figure out how Shadowrun works at Gen Con. I guess to jump right into it, I want to first find out, so for those who might be like us, new to Shadowrun and conning and stuff, we're experienced with Shadowrun, but going to conventions we're very new at, and that's kind of like what you guys do. So why don't you describe to people who might also be in the same boat, what is the Catalyst demo team?
Okay, well, the Catalyst demo team is comprised of volunteers from across the world who really enjoy running games that Catalyst Game Labs produces. So we have Shadowrun, Battletech, we have Cosmic Patrol, Leviathans, and the list goes on and on. I'm hoping you've heard of some of those outside of Shadowrun. They're all volunteers that have a passion for the game. They love playing it, and they love teaching other people how to play the game. So that's what the demo team is all about.
I wanted to, so what does it look like? What is Catalyst on the show floor? Describe that to me. What is the describe the scene to me.
The way it's set up is that you do have your booth where we have employees and volunteers working to take care of the customers. But then you have all these shelves set up around and tables so you can walk up, take a look at the product. We have volunteers there so that way you can ask them questions about the product. But we also have the Shadowrun Interactive, which is a large 10-foot diameter interior of Dante's Inferno, where we have a couple of yeah, it's really cool. We have a couple volunteers in their costumes that you can go ahead, go in there, roll some dice, figure out what Shadowrun's about. And then in addition to that, we have 14 other booths that are, or little tables that are set up so you can demo our various games that we actually have, whether it's the Duke and Jarl, Wrath of Dragons, the new Vikings board game. Hopefully Shadowrun Encounters will be out by then. So
Awesome. So I know you said you had volunteers there, but who else, like who in general, who is everybody at the Catalyst demo team at their gathering? Who is all there?
Well, let's see. You have, of course, the owner of the company in MediaRes, Lauren Coleman. You have Randall Bills. You have Jason Hardy that's there. You guys should recognize that name. Mm-hmm. Brett Evans will usually be there at various points. The Michelenkas. So all these names that you're very familiar with from just opening up the front of the Shadowrun books or the BattleTech books, you're going to see them right there working the booth, as well as, obviously, our CDT agents, which I wish we could name every single name, but it'll take too long.
Right.
That's awesome. So it sounds pretty big. So are you going to be like selling stuff and showing off stuff and that kind of stuff?
The big one that everyone's been talking about is Shadowrun Anarchy. We have been told it will be ready for Gen Con for sale. And we will probably have one of the tables up there where we'll actually be running demos of it. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late to schedule it as actual events for the RPG section. So I know Volbrecht is probably going to have a lot of people coming over to him saying, hey, where can I play Shadowrun Anarchy? But, yep, they'll have to go to the booth.
So that's really exciting. I'm incredibly excited about Shadowrun Anarchy, and I know that I'm going to definitely be getting some of that and previewing that for some videos and stuff like that for our channel. So, okay, so that's the show floor. That's the booths, so to speak. But, so, of course, you've also got the game room, right? Where all the games are going to be, the Shadowrun missions are going to be being played. That's a separate location?
We're just on the opposite end of the convention center for the booth. So it takes like 3 hours to walk to the booth. Yeah, we got almost the entire room. We have 27 tables, and we'll pack every one of them full for 16 hours a day. Every day we're there.
I want you to walk me through the process. We managed to get tickets for several of the missions. So let's say we're ready to play a game. We're showing up. We go to the room. Walk us through how that works. Like, what do we do? Who do we talk to, and where do we go?
When you first walk into the room, the first table you will see is the RPG headquarters, which is where I spend most of my time. There are usually 3 or 4 people hanging out there. And we also have a room captain that's usually wandering a little bit. The room captain will be the one taking care of seating. Any of us, though, can direct any questions, let you know what table you need to be at or anything like that. Well, the various event tables will have signs on labeled, what events at what table. But it's awful chaotic. Most people don't take the time. You don't realize that's what the signs say. Feel free to ask any of the agents in there. It's really easy to spot who the agents are. We wear these nice bright green and black bowling shirts.
I just want to point out a couple of things that we instituted to help people find their tables a little bit quicker is that Volbrecht and his EXO came up with a numbering system for the table signs. So that way, if you go up to the room captain and say, hey, I'm at this one, they can quickly take a look at the list and say, okay, go to table number 27, and you just find table number 27. Another thing that we did was we tried to color code each of the table signs. So that way, if you're in a build-a-runner workshop, then you look for the green table signs. Mm-hmm. If you're in a Shadowrun mission, you're going to look for the red table signs. And then if you're in the convention mission packs, you're going to look for the blue ones. So that's another little hint that we hope people will kind of pick up on, so that way they can get quickly to where they need to go without having to stop and ask a question.
Cool. So that's actually really going to make things easy. So with generics, you said you got to get on the generic sign up. Is that something that you can only do like I'm going to show up and I sign up on like a little list at the table there, or can you show up like well ahead of time and say, "Oh, well at this time I'm going to be available"?
We don't normally put the sign-up sheet out more than a half hour before startup time. You got to give all the ticket buyers 15 minutes to get there and get seated first. First come, first served. The order you sign up in is the order you get seated in.
The natural next question, I guess, is how do you go about making a character for a mission?
So there are two options that you have. One is that you can go ahead and make that character before you get to Gen Con, and you can download the Shadowrun Missions FAQ, the Frequently Asked Questions, straight from our Shadowrun Missions Facebook page or from the Shadowrun forums. But it gives you all the guidance you need in order to make a missions legal character. Or the other thing you can do is when you get to the convention, you can go ahead and join our Builder Runner workshops, and I'll let Bob go ahead and talk about those.
Yeah, the Builder Runner workshops are 2-hour events we have scheduled where you actually get to sit down with a GM and build a missions legal character. They'll actually guide you through the whole process.
Cool. That's really good to know. That's really helpful.
One thing you've mentioned that I thought was interesting was just the amount of beginning entry level events and things going on with Shadowrun. So just in general, especially for me, since if it wasn't for Bobby, I would have had no idea where to start with Shadowrun. So if somebody like me, where they might be interested, they've heard about it, maybe they had some old college buddies that used to play it, coming into Gen Con, how beginner friendly, how easy would you say it would be for somebody to walk into Gen Con, walk up to the Shadowrun table, and then just get told, oh, go to this event, and you go to that event, and then for them to get started, build a character, and start playing?
Super easy.
And so the new beginner, the novice, or the returning person, those are the people we cater to. We over the last 3 years, we've had tremendous growth.
Why don't we run through some of these questions before we get started? You want to hit the first one?
Yeah.
So from Reddit.
Yeah, so the first one is from Redditor Elafoil, who asks, "What are the craziest missions characters that they've gotten that you've gotten?"
Kool-Aid Man and his pimp spirits.
Yeah.
All of his spirits, he was the pimp, he was a mystic adept, and all of his spirits were either ladies of the night or they were the Kool-Aid Man, and they would come bursting through the walls, and it was interesting to say the least.
Did they say something when they busted through the walls?
No, it's just, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it, yep.
Well, I'd have to go back to probably season 4 to really know my craziest, and that would be Master Blaster. Master Blaster was a pixie troll team. The pixie maids would literally ride around on the back of the troll in heavy combat armor.
That's amazing.
All right. So next one comes from J Rex, who asks, "Is there a CDT mentorship program for new agents or new GMs to get a feeling for what they might expect at their first convention, or their first visit to a new-to-them convention?"
There's not really a mentorship program. What we do is prior to each of the conventions, we do hold a CDT agent meeting, and we're going to change it up a little bit this year. So we have a portion that's designed just for the noobs, and then we're going to have a portion that all the old timers can also attend. So that way they get some further information about what they should expect, what they should be aware of, as well as, who the heck do I go to if I have a problem. So
Thank you guys so much for talking to us. And yeah, I'm sure you answered a lot of the questions that we have. All the questions that we have, I feel a lot more prepared, and I'm sure you were helpful to a lot of the people here. And thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
not a problem at all. It's my pleasure.
So that was awesome. That was an incredible experience interviewing those two guys. What a crazy amount of knowledge they have, and I feel so much more prepared for
Yeah,
going
no
to Gen
kidding.
Con.
I definitely also feel prepared. I don't like being underprepared. So next month, what is our episode going to be about next month, Tyler?
All right, so it's going to be all about packing, which means we're getting super close. So all about, what we need to pack, what we need to leave behind, all the things, just the nits, the details, what we need to do to get ready.
Yeah, so lots of you guys have been to cons before. Remember, we've never been to any. So what kind of little tips and tricks do you have? What kind of little suggestions, things that we might not think about? What kind of odds and ends should we bring? Like Febreze for our beds at the hotel, or for fellow gamers who might not have showered. Also next month, we're going to be doing a special cooking segment. Me and Tyler are going to show you guys how to make some of your very own special gamer snacks to bring with you to the convention. Some homemade stuff that'll give you the power and fuel you need to make it through your games.
100% FDA approved.
So join us next month, and we'll talk about that. I'm really excited. So from me, from Tyler, here at Road to Gen Con, we will see you guys next month. Auf Wiedersehen!
We should say, I read on Reddit the other day about staying in new hotels. I can't remember what it is. It's like there's a way to check whether your sheets have been washed before you got there. Gosh, I don't want to. No, it was somebody. Never mind. Don't worry about it. And then that's what I get for trying to remember things on the internet.